Hey, this is Mike Montre, and you're listening to Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio.
Hello, producer Claire.
Hello.
We have quite an interesting show
Danny.
tonight here on Rock on Radio.
Yes, we do. A lot of good things happening.
Yes, we have in-studio guests. We have
out-studio guests.
We have out-of-studio guests. Probably even have
We have potential guests. I mean, there's
we
all
have
kinds of stuff.
out-of-body experiences. We have a new segment we're starting tonight,
Yes, we do.
which is called
Deco on Deck
Whoa.
with Drew. This
Yeah,
time.
with Mountain Drew.
With Mountain Drew.
That's right. Woohoo! It's got a lot of fizz. It's got a lot of pop.
It'll get you going.
No, huh?
Mountain Dew is pretty, that's full of caffeine.
I know. Well, we are here at we are semi-live at the fabulous 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment, which is heavily involved in this show this evening.
It's very excited. And we got a new beautiful screen.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Now I know how to
Now I know how to spell
now
it.
I know how to spell 2 tracks. That's the third shot. I don't know,
Well, I spelled it out, too, and then the X at the end.
Correct. All right. So, welcome to Rock on Radio. I am your host, Danny Coleman. As you hear, producer Claire is here. And Rock on Radio is brought to you by O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey, the official caterers of the Rock on Radio Christmas Spectacular and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
That's my professional radio announcer voice.
I see. You did well.
Okay.
Yes, very lovely.
Charlie, can you sign me to a recording contract with that kind
Sure, Dan.
All right, thank you very much.
That's deep, dark, and delicious.
Correct. He's got a better radio voice
Yeah, he
than I do.
does.
But that's his thing. He's a vocalist guy.
Yes, he is.
Excellent. And we'll get to him and his buddy.
Cohort.
That's right, his buddy.
His cohort.
We'll get to both of them shortly. I forget where
O'Connor's
I was.
American
O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey. Lily Pies of Princeton, located at 301 North Harrison Street inside the Princeton Shopping Center. Jen makes hand grenades of happiness, and we devour them. Yes, we do. I wonder where she lives, man. I might dress up like a radio guy and go trick-or-treating at her house. What do you think?
Security.
Yeah, that's what I think, too. Should we call it security?
You make girls feel secure.
That's exactly right. Cigar Beauty.
Yes.
Holly at Crown Majesty Cigars. You could find her on Instagram at cigar.beauty. I had one of them earlier today when I was playing golf.
Oh,
I had a
you.
Crown Majesty cigar.
Did it help your golf game?
I finally went to the right side of where I should be.
I see. It was the cigar.
I'll go with that.
It wasn't the socks this time?
No, I didn't. I had socks, but they weren't those. Which is
They weren't sinister
They were
socks.
not sinister footwear. That's right.
But you got a hole-in-one in. I mean, we've had good sponsors.
Correct. We do. Sinisterfootwear.com or sinisterfw.com because life is too short to wear boring socks.
Yes,
If
it
you
is.
use the promo code DCR Socks, you can get 10% off an order. And they've got all kinds of socks.
Characters.
Sporting and cartoons and
Wrestlers.
and
Harry
things
Potter
of that.
and-
You know. Wait, now, wait.
Halloween.
Frank, what was your favorite cartoon growing up?
Oh. Speed Racer.
They've got those socks.
They do.
Very cool.
Steve?
Bugs Bunny for sure.
I got
definitely.
plenty. I
Yeah.
got the. I have Marvin the Martian socks.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
You got a hole-in-one in
that's
them.
right.
Like a hole-in-one, not a hole-in-one.
Charlie, who'd you? What?
Underdog.
Yes.
I've got
Like
those
that.
socks too. DCR socks. Yes, no, yes.
I always
got
wanted the
all
ring
these socks.
with the pill in there. You know.
Oh, that's right. There's no need to fear.
Underdog is here.
Underdog is here. So, yes, they have all
Oh,
those
you know
socks.
that and Mighty Mouse.
Yes, they have Mighty Mouse socks.
I like the theme song.
Sinister FW. That's why I smoke cigars, so I could just look in the camera and then point and say, "It's the frog. See, courageous cat, Mighty Mouse ain't gonna get us this time. No way."
What a pal, what a pal, what a pal.
Yeah, there you go. See, I like these guys already. That's a very good decision you made there,
Oh, thank you.
Charlie. An executive decision you and Bruce came to here, I guess, and Robin, and we have Drew over there waiting patiently for his segment. Yes, look at him.
We may be waiting patiently for his segment.
The Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation. What's their name? Oh, no, 12/3, December 3rd at McClune Supper Club in Asbury Park, New Jersey, is the big holiday party.
Yay. And who's going to be playing?
Oh, that's a good one. And he just came out with a brand new album.
Are we allowed to just tell people?
I think so.
Okay. Well,
If
you tell
not,
them.
what's the worst
I
that
can't
can happen?
remember.
I'll get yelled at. Alligator Records recording artist Nick Moss will be the band that evening. So, should be a lot of fun. NewJerseyStage.com, where you are listening to the show, hopefully, right now, on the Penguin Rocks or Asbury Music, or NewJerseyStage.com. They all get you to the same spot. Asbury Park Vibes, Diane and Doug. Fantastic duo. If you are a band, a solo artist, or just somebody who wants to have a bio written for their website, press release, photographers, check them out, AsburyParkVibes.com. Well, I did deco. I made sure I did that the first thing.
Yes.
Not like
Smart.
half hour into the show like I did last time. And that's it, right? I think I got everybody. Did I get everybody? No, Dee Dee's Lights.
Ah.
Yes. We now have, and you'll have to come back because I actually have some mood lighting on the way. Steve, I noticed you were remarking about that.
We need that or I can't
We
function.
have our own private line of candles which are being manufactured as we speak. So they will rock on radio candles. So
I'm kind of excited to see what they look like.
yeah, me too. I should
What
probably
does
call her.
rock smell like?
I don't know.
That could be, yeah.
Sa-
Don't go there.
Sandalwood? I don't know.
Well, we have a segment later in the second hour with Janet Rothstein of Cafe Artiste.
Very excited.
And you and I recorded some live stuff, and we have Paul Marzano
Oh, he was so good.
with a
So fun.
with
Love him.
a song that he wrote. Now, Paul Marzano, there's a Facebook page. It's got like 800 million followers called Jersey Pizza Joint. It's, right, Jersey Pizza Joints.
Yep,
and
as
he
a
wrote
Facebook
he wrote the theme song for that. And it took off, and it started getting played on like
mainstream.
terrestrial mainstream radio, and he's been a guest multiple times of this program and other ones. So we'll have a new one though that I had never heard that song until
I think
the
it
other
was
night.
a debut.
Oh, there you go.
I think it was a debut.
No, it's going to debut on the radio here.
I know.
In
But
the
my-
second hour.
But my favorite one is not. I'll have to put that out separately.
I'll clip that and send that to
Thank
you
you.
so you can have it.
Thank you.
We also have during this hour we're expecting a call from yet another deco artist, Steve Gaspar
Nice.
of the Hollywood Allstars. We love when Steve calls. He's not a frequent caller, but he has called here on several other occasions over the last few years. And that's it for the surprises, right?
I don't know.
All right. Well, how can people
You're not
find
supposed
us?
to tell people the
How-
surprises.
how can people find us before?
They go to dcror.com, which is the short link for Danny Coleman's rockonradio.com.
Correct. That's right. Facebook, Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio 2, the number 2, and Instagram and Twitter at Rock on Radio, all one word, all capital letters. Now, in studio, we have
Drum roll.
professional musicians
We
here.
do. Imagine. We have had professional, but
Not
these
just
are these
like-
are super professional.
Not just like weekend hack like me. We've got
this is
like
true.
professional musicians here. We have Deco Entertainment's Charlie Calv is here. Yay! Although I did hear you say, Charlie, I might only be here for about 20 minutes or so. I don't know.
I'll hang out for a
I'm
bit.
going to say, you think you watch at the
He's
end.
plotting
He will
his
still
escape.
be here.
And we also have 2 more. Now, are you both? They're both Deco, right? Because you're associated.
That's right.
Yes.
Sort of, Frank.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah, I know he is, but I'm not sure. I saw you look like you had a check, so I wasn't sure.
Wish I had a check.
Fact checker. Fact checker.
We have Steve O'Jane and Frank Schaefer of Initial Kick. Yay! Hello, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you for your patience while we rattled off our massive list of sponsors. Oh, I knew I forgot somebody.
Now who?
Monkey
Cold
Cold Coffee.
Coffee.
That's right. MonkeyColdCoffee.com.
I'm actually writing them down because now we have so many of them.
MonkeyColdCoffee.com. If you go there, use a promo code DCRocks10 and get 10% off. Artisan coffee, flavors like bourbon, chocolate chip, toasted coconut rum, and vanilla agave.
Well, vanilla agave has not come out yet.
All right. Well,
But it's
no, But they
coming.
do. They have the Kama Sumatra
They have the regular
or the Sumatra.
Sumatra.
Sorry.
And they just released a green flavor. Which
Oh, here we
I
go
guess
again.
What is a green flavor?
Oh, here we go.
Peru La Florida.
All right.
So it's from Peru.
It's Peruvian and has hints of like
Flowers.
peach and road tar.
It does not. It's green. It's supposed to be like it's like organic. It's their way of saying organic without saying they're organic.
Okay.
I
There
think.
you go. All right.
That's my take on it.
You hear that? All right. Now, here's your thing. Now, repeat exactly what she said right back to us.
Peru La Florida.
All right. Hello, gentlemen. How are you, man? First of all, thank you, man. Thank you so much for making the trip because you guys kind of traveled a little bit to get here. I know I traveled to get here, and I live close.
A little bit. Totally worth it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
So,
Absolutely. Thank you.
so where did you travel from?
I'm down in Delaware.
I'm kind of right outside of Philly.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad.
All right. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah. Come up did you come from the New Hope side?
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. Now, Steve, you are the vocalist
Yes.
in Initial Kick,
Yeah.
right? And Frank, you are the guitarist.
Yes.
Excellent. There you go. Now we
Thank
know
you. Good night,
everything we need to know. See? That kind of fits in with the show prep I did, right? See? No, so all right. Take us here as listeners. Take us through first the history of Initial Kick. And then we'll kind of get into it from there.
Well, Frankie and I met back in, I think 2006. Does that sound right?
It's about right.
And we were in a band called Sweden as the Bomb. We used to play around Philly for a couple of years, and then we that kind of ran its course, and then we kind of did some separate projects for a little while, and then around 2012, I guess, we started talking about we wanted to do something original, something kind of unique, and we
Something that we loved.
yeah, something that we really love, something we wanted to hear ourselves, in other bands we wanted to hear. So we wanted to try to put that together, something that was just a feel good, upbeat, fun rock and roll band, with the essence of what we grew up on, all the stuff from the late 70s, early 80s, that kind of thing.
And so,
Yeah. So
and who would that be?
Frank.
Steve. We had a few other members pass over the years. Not pass away, but pass through the band.
Pass through.
Pass through. And we kind of took a little hiatus. And, we decided it was time to finish the record.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, we kind of pulled it all back together just these pretty much since the pandemic. We were like, all right, let's, we got to, finish this stuff up. We started recording back in 2014, and we just got ourselves together with Stevie D and got some really great mixes. So we were finally happy.
Diacutis?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So he did a phenomenal job on the record, and we're real happy with it.
So that went in a little different direction than I had.
You were saying influences,
anticipated.
right? Was
Yeah,
that it?
well, kind of, yeah. That's where we're. But that's okay. I was interested to hear what you had to say.
We got time.
See, that's the easiest part of this job. I just throw something out there, and you go with it, and I
Take a
have
left turn, and whatever
and I do as
happens,
little
happens.
as possible. That's perfect. So no, but you said the music that you loved listening to, and
that was all
would
like,
be
Ian Hunter and Mott the Hoople and T-Rex and David Bowie and Kiss and Alice Cooper and Hanoi Rocks and that kind of thing.
Says it all.
Yeah,
He got it.
those are our main influences. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little Cheap Trick or whatever. But it's we just really miss the old school rock and roll. Just happy, upbeat, fun melodic,
music. Yeah.
chant along, hooky choruses and things like that. And we want to hear some more music like that. So we made it ourselves. Yeah.
No, why not? Well, I noticed all those acts that you named were, either what they call that, Charlie? Help me out back then. Was it glam rock?
Yeah,
or
well,
like
yeah,
right
glam
on
rock.
the,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
which kind of I think gave way to maybe hair metal,
Hair
in
metal.
the 80s,
Right.
and so how did you work around that? So I mean, you have this brand new. This is your first disc, correct?
Yes, that's the debut album.
The initial kick.
That's right.
Right, the debut disc plays with Mercury. So, how did you work those influences into the music?
Well, we really like anything that where like theatricality and rock and roll meet. So we try to work that into the subtext of all the music and the lyrics. There's like a tongue-in-cheek sense of humor to it. It's in there. You got to look, but it's in there, And Frank, how would you describe it?
I think there's also a part of influence that comes from like the Judas Priest, Iron Maiden kind of thing. Okay. So it's not like we just focused on glam metal or glam rock back like 70s rock, but it's kind of an amalgamation of all these different influences. And as we were working through the initial originals, we just can't. We struck a formula that really worked for us. And,
that's what I was. And well, the thing about that, what you just said, Frank, I had the luck of interviewing Melissa Etheridge one time, and she said that she was afraid she had gotten into this rut where everything she wrote to her was starting to sound the same. Like The Way I Do was big for her, and she was so afraid of everything sounding like that. So, go ahead.
It's actually a good thing, to have your own sound, and I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's a cohesiveness that ties all the songs together, but at the same time, there's really no two that sound really like each other. There's kind of a whole variety, kind of a broad spectrum of different styles on there, while still maintaining the initial kick sound that we were going for.
Right. Well, where I was going with that was that she had, written. So, she was on whatever the tour was. We were talking earlier, Charlie, about the Vogel. Right. I saw her at the Count Basie.
Okay.
So, and I had interviewed her for that show, which was an acoustic show that she did. But one of the things she did, it was in her songwriting, because every song that she wrote to her was starting to sound the same. So what she did, and this is what she told me, was she took a song that she was writing, and she sent it out to a country artist, and she sent it to a hip-hop artist. She sent it to a thrash metal artist. She sent it to just a plain rock artist other than herself, and said to them, take this song and do something with it. Tell me and send me the recording. So she wanted to hear their interpretations
Nice.
of the song, and so that she wasn't like stuck in the same rut of, here's this next album I got. It sounds like the other 5 albums I've done.
It sounds like Steely Dan did something like that. I think they used to like write their songs and then they would just bring in different musicians and see what each different musician would bring to it. And they could have like 5 different bass players, 5 different whatever.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, they would just pick, well, that one worked, that one we like better, that one we don't, and then just narrow it down to, and then that would wind up what was on the album.
Well, and there's a blues guy named Joe Louis Walker, and Joe loves that when he's had the same band for 17 or 18 years. But when he needs to take a different guy out on the road with him for whatever reason, somebody's sick or something, he loves to hear the spin that they put on his material. And he said some of the time it makes these songs I've been playing for years makes them sound like they're brand new to me because, I never thought of that. I never did this. I never did that. So when you guys, like you just said, Motley Crue and Judas Priest and so on and so forth, when you get to that point and you start writing beside those other influences, and then you have that, is it difficult?
What we like to do is to have a different drummer on every song.
Oh, that's helpful. As a drummer, I can tell you that's helpful.
And yes, some of them have spontaneously combusted.
So, well, who's the primary songwriter?
Steve.
Yeah, I write
Okay.
most of the stuff, and it's a lot of what might give it different flavor all over time is just that some of these songs go back almost 40 years. It's like I was waiting for the right vehicle through which and the right partner to record these things with to get the sound that we were looking for, and Frankie and I are like-minded on the music and everything, so it's turned out really, really, really well. But we haven't got into that painted ourselves into a corner yet as far as working in a vacuum, because the songs really do sound pretty varied on this, and actually we're already working on the second record, so
There you go.
we couldn't fit everything on this one, so it's like kind of a 1-2 punch. We're working on the second one as we speak, and it's if you like this one, you're going to like the next one too.
Yes.
Well, now, how important are lyrics to you guys?
I think it tells the story. I think
Okay.
it's very important.
Because one of the discussions I often have with a lot of people, musicians, are they all feel that that's part of the problem with a lot of today's pop music is that lyrically they're just void of any feeling or any depth.
They
I
don't go
guess.
very deep. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I mean that's why I asked. It's kind of a long way around to get there, but I'm Irish. Give me a break.
No, I hear you for sure. Yeah, I mean, I try not to get in a rut either with that. As far as lyrics go, just not. There has to be at least some little clever spin in there, because it's true. I mean, after a while, if you break it down, there's good emotions and bad emotions, and after a while you feel like I've heard all the love songs, I've heard all the hate songs, I've heard all the, my dick is so big, let's party all night songs, and there's only so many ways to express those emotions. So it's like, I kind of try to stay away from the well-worn path.
Cliches.
Right, the cliches, thank you, right, like lyric word salad, sometimes, well, that's just a cool word, let's throw it, No, we're definitely try to keep it like, let's have it at least be a little clever, something in there that you hopefully haven't heard, at least not that way before, and so we try to approach it from that direction.
Fantastic. If you're just tuning in, this is Rock On Radio. Our guests in studio are Steve O'Jane and Frank Schaefer of Initial Kick. We have Charlie Calv of Deco Entertainment here. We have Drew over there in the corner. Drew in the corner. Mountain Drew.
He's loving it.
Poor
You can
Drew.
tell.
We have Robin. Is Bruce still here? I can't see now.
I don't know where he
Yeah,
went.
I think he went to Did he eat dinner?
He left.
He goes to bed early. He's probably
This is true.
He could be sleeping. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you have this brand new album out, as we said earlier. It's called Plays with Mercury. What's with the title? Go ahead.
The title, it's you can take it on a number of levels, right? I mean, it's like there's one literal one. When I was a little kid, I literally used to play with mercury. We bust open a bunch of thermometers and we'd play with mercury. And I'm
Explains
still
a
here.
lot.
Yeah, I'm still here. Damn it. And then there's all the there's Mercury in retrograde and Mercury the
car.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So there's a number of levels, but it's open to interpretation. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds cool.
Yeah,
It sounds
It sounds cool. Playing with Mercury. Well, why don't we do some music real quick? Well, no, we don't have to do it real quick. You can take your time. I just want to
Now.
get to that. Yeah.
Are
you ready?
I'm ready for any of them. so
What would
just
you
tell me.
guys like us to play off of this new record here?
Do you have Wish You Well up there?
I believe so, right, Charlie? I think you sent that one
I
to
think we
us,
sent
didn't you?
everything.
Yeah.
You did. I just didn't open that one
Yeah.
up. You gave me the ones
Claire's
in
in
the
panic
beginning,
mode right now.
Nah.
That's right. I got it.
Good call.
So while she's doing it, what websites, social media, how do we find Initial Kick?
Initialquick.net.
Yep. Yeah. .net, not com. .net.
WeLost.com.
Initial Kick. Now, it's an interesting name as well. What do we have?
Open to interpretation.
A lot of interpretation.
Well, once you put something out there, I think once you create something, you put it out there, it's not yours anymore. Now it just belongs to, the masses and the ether and so at that point, that's why we keep creating, because that's where the fun is. It's in the creating. Once you're done, now it's just like, okay, here you go. And if it resonates with some people, that's fantastic. But that's why we kind of keep saying it's all open to interpretation. But Initial Kick. Well, we were kicking ideas back and forth. What are we going to call this band? Forever, right? It was like a year plus process, and everything I came up with, Frank didn't like. Everything Frank came up with, I didn't like. And one day we were just in conversation, and somebody said, that initial kick you get when you first do something, whatever it was. And then we just looked at each other and we're like, hey, wait, name for a band maybe? And we were like, yep. It was essentially the only thing we didn't mutually hate. So it's like, okay, that's it. That's the one,
Now, you got it there? You're all set to go? Okay. This is Wish You Well.
Yes.
Do you want to preface it in any way before we let it go? Or
this one's really up tempo, real kick-ass rocker, and kind of in maybe in lines with like a Hanoi Rocks kind of thing.
Okay.
And they were a big influence on us. So this song
Badass.
There you go. Now, actually, before we run this, you are the second artist in the 15 years almost I've been doing this that made that exact same statement. The other one was a woman from France.
Talking about Hanoi?
Nope, talking about how she viewed her music. The creative process was done. That song no longer belongs to me.
Right.
And now belongs to everybody.
Yep.
And what they do with it or take from it could be totally different from what she meant it to be, but everybody has their own interpretation.
Yeah. Yes.
Because here's the thing: if you tell somebody this is exactly what it meant, it's a very literal story, and it's here's the storyline and everything like that, then it can only mean that.
Right.
If you leave it open to interpretation, then it becomes personal to the listener. They can read into it, something that's personal to them, and then it will become much more a part of their life.
Right.
So it almost sounds counterintuitive, but it's almost irrelevant what the original intent was. Now it's art, and now it's out there, and it belongs to everybody.
There you go. All right. Well, here is Initial Kick and their song called
Wish You Well.
We were fine from the beginning of our time. We sang and laughed and danced to a forgotten rhyme. Something strange took a hand and then we changed. A bond that was so strong got rearranged. once upon a time, we raised hell, doing things we'd never tell. A gang of two on a mission to rebel. You and me were as tight as friends could be, and how it all went wrong so suddenly. We were riding down a hometown street. Now we're dancing miles apart to a different beat. Well, I can say it hurt like hell. All the same, I wish you well. How we came to this sad end, I just can't tell. In the end, we'll all be fine. I never treated you unkind, and the least that I can say, you were a friend of mine. Once upon a time, heal us of our wounds. Time, heal our old wounds. Time, make us better over time. Time, heal us of our wounds. Time, heal our old wounds. Time, make us better over time. Time, heal us of our wounds. Time, heal our old wounds. Time, make us better over time. Time, heal us of our wounds. Time, heal our old wounds. Time, make us better over time. We move on, though the fantasy is gone. The memories and hopes still carry on. We walk side by side and stride till we went astray. And it broke my heart the day you walked away. Well, I can say it hurt like hell. All the same, I wish you well. How we came to this sad end, I just can't tell. In the end, we'll all be fine. I never treated you unkind, and the least that I can say, you were a friend of mine. Once upon a time, once upon a time, once upon a time, once upon a time.
Nice. There they are. Initial Kick. Love it. Fantastic. That's great. Now you were saying while we were while that was going out over the air that the drummer on that track is
It's Billy Orico from Angel and other bands, yes.
Nice.
He's a great dude, a good friend, and he really kicked some butt on this one.
Yeah, killer
All
track.
right, go.
killer
Yeah,
drum track.
Billy's a great guy. Yeah, great drummer.
and you know him because you and Charlie both have done time.
We've done time
With
with
Angel.
Yes.
Actually, this is their rehearsal space, if I
It is,
recall
yeah,
correctly.
we're actually sitting in Angel's rehearsal space right now, and that's what I originally met. Interesting story. Met Steve. Initial Kick was opening for Punky Meadows at the Trocadero in Philly,
Okay.
and then fast forward, a couple years later, and we're both in Angel together. Which is kind of cool.
Right. So you guys have been.
Danny
Who
just
put
hit
that
his head.
microphone in a way? so you guys have been. How long have you been together?
Initial Kick or
Initial Kick.
well, 10 years about.
Wow.
I mean, if we really trace it back to the about 10 years, and then I've been playing with Angel for a while, so we kind of had to put Initial Kick on the back burner for a while, and then through the pandemic, we just had a lot of time, and we finished the album finally. And
We all had a lot of time.
Too much time.
I was doing a lot of interviews then for New Jersey Stage and for this show. It's kind of like that old Cheech and Chong album. I think it was Big Bamboo. Like what I did on my summer vacation. It was like what I did on my COVID break. And there were people putting out solo albums that you would never expect to put out solo albums. Like Todd Zuckerman of Styx, the drummer, puts out a solo
You're right. I mean,
album,
everyone's kind of sitting home wondering what to do.
Right.
So you go down
Isn't
and
it like the
and
blackout in New York City when everybody got pregnant at the same
Yes,
time?
yeah,
All those babies 9 months later.
Got some time to kill,
Oh gosh. So we're expecting a call any second now from Steve Gaspar of the Hollywood All-Stars. But before he does call, take me through. We talked a little bit about songwriting. Take us through that process. Is it start with lyrics? Does it start with melodies? Does it start with you have a riff and?
Well, like one of our favorite songs that actually wound up on a movie soundtrack is Tranquilizer, you know, and I had a rough idea for what I wanted to do for a song, and then Frankie had this great guitar riff that he came up with, and it plays all throughout the verses and the chorus and everything. So, you know, the tempo was right, the feel was right. It's got this 3/4 waltz kind of thing going on, and it's kind of a haunting melody, and it melded perfect. It was one of those magic moments where you know, his guitar parts and my vocals just blended great. You know, so and the song turned out to be one of the best, I think, on the album.
What movie?
It's called Boxanne, not to be confused with Roxanne. Boxanne. It's a little independent thing.
Interesting film.
Yeah, it's got yeah, it's, you know, your standard you know, boy meets sex doll, boy falls in love with sex doll, boy loses sex doll. You know, that kind of thing. You know, we've all lived it. We've been, you know what I'm saying. So,
Literal sex doll.
right, literally.
Yeah.
Blow up doll, you know. The movie's hilarious, but yeah, we wound up getting on the soundtrack with Jimbo Mathis from the Squirrel Nut Zippers and Kitty Rotten and some other really fun
Gosh,
bands.
there's another band name I haven't heard in 1,000 years. Squirrel Nut Zippers.
Love those
Holy
guys.
cow!
One of my favorites. Love them. Love. They're so much fun. They're coming through Philly for Christmas, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
There was a band I used to work with that they were from Ambler, and I used to do some drum work for them, but mostly percussion. And the guitar player was a big Squirrel Nut Zippers fan. I was like, who? This is going back like 15 years ago.
They're so much fun.
That's funny.
Anytime you got a party, just throw on some Squirrel Nut Zippers and some Initial Kick. And
There you go.
that's a
Initial
party
Kick.
right
So who else is in the band?
At the moment, Johnny Zabo, who is one of the original drummers,
Okay.
not on the record,
And he is not spontaneously combusted. Yeah, that's the irony of it.
and Rick Weitzel is playing bass.
Okay.
And we're probably going to add a second guitar player because that was the initial the band was initially a 5-piece.
Okay.
And, you know, there's a lot of guitar layering all over the record. So
Oh, all right.
it's kind of tough.
So you need
it's
backup.
Myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thick sound, and if we want to reproduce what's on the record, it's definitely a 2-guitar thing. For
All
sure.
right. Well, speaking of reproduction, we have Steve Gaspar of the Hollywood All-Stars on the phone with us right now. What's up, Steve?
Yo, Danny, how are you guys doing?
We are fantastic. I've got Charlie Calv here with me. I've got Steve O'Jane. I've got Frank Schaefer. I've got the Deco crew here. So we're all waiting on you, big guy.
You got a house full tonight, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yes, we
Hey,
do.
man, listen, tell Charlie I'm sorry I missed that pizza, but I want to take a rain check.
Oh, I'm going to mail it to you, Steve.
Well, listen, Steve, I'm not going to try and make you feel bad, but I'm really going to try and make
But
you
I
feel
should have
bad.
been there, right? I know.
Well, we got two gentlemen here drove from Delaware and Philadelphia, so you know.
Yeah, I know. So
you
I'm
know.
the big pussy tonight.
So, what are the Hollywood All-Stars up to, my friend?
You know, Danny, I got to tell you, since the last time I spoke with you, I mean, I've got a bunch of good news. I've got bad news. I want to give you the bad news first.
Okay.
I have been having a hell of a time with the economy being the way it is these days, booking a 13-piece band. I started with a couple of different agents, both of whom said to me, hey, Steve, can you cut it down? Can you go out without the horn section? Can you do it without some of the singers? And Danny, to be honest with you, here's my feeling on it. If people are going to be kind enough to buy this record or go online and download or stream it and check these songs out, if they're going to come and see this band live, I want to give them what's on the record. I don't want to give them some butchered version of the Hollywood All-Stars. So that's on the frustrating side. The good news is radio is beginning to take a shine to this record like you can't believe.
That's great, Steve. Can you hear me, Danny?
We are literally, and I know I've been copying Charlie on a lot of this stuff, but we are literally being played right now everywhere from Australia, the UK, Ireland, Germany, Las Vegas, several stations in the States. And I've been focusing on the airplay, which hopefully will help it to lead into more live shows. And, since the last time we spoke, I think the last time I spoke to you, the record, it either wasn't released yet or it was just about to be released. But I have gotten some incredible feedback from some very strong industry people, friends of mine. Lenny Pizzi, who used to be an A&R guy at Epic Columbia, has told me he loves it. Everybody from people at Live Nation, Michael DeBars, who's a Sirius XM DJ, Steve Conti, the great guitar player. He's got a band out now called Leathercats. Everybody has been sending me these raves about it, and it's really been energizing me to keep pushing it forward and not give up on it.
Oh, great. Now, well, I know when, I don't know whether it was, I guess it was you, right, Charlie? You sent me his stuff
Oh yeah,
originally.
and to Steve's point, it's a great band, and I give him a lot of props for kind of standing behind having the full band play, and I can understand the dollar value to this band. Steve didn't mention, but it's Tommy Bowes from Tower of Power. You got the Uptown Horns. Played with everyone from Robert Plant to James Brown to Joe Cocker. I mean, you name it, they're on those records, they're on those tours. I mean, Andy Abel, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. The drummer from the Blues Brothers, Eddie Torres from Vicky Sue Robinson. I mean, Will Lee plays on Living in America. I mean, it really is an all-star band, and they're phenomenal. They're a lot of fun, to watch and hear. But it's a tough thing with the economy. He's right. It's a 13-piece band. And it's not cheap to put a band like that on the road.
They even make stages big enough to hold 13 pieces these days.
Yeah, you know what, Danny, they do. And Charlie, I want to thank you. Not to turn this into a mutual admiration society, but Danny, I think I mentioned this to you last time, and for everybody that's there, and having been signed to Columbia Records and having gone through the big machine, I have never met a label like Deco with people that are as in tune to the music and are as helpful. And I mean, I can't rave enough about the entire family there, from Charlie and Bruce to Drew and everybody else that I've been working with at that label has just gone out of their way and over the top, above and beyond for me. And I really appreciate it. And, again, that energizes me too, because I want to bring something to the Deco table. I want this to be something that everybody there can say, wow, they did it. And that's part of why I refuse to give up on this. There's been a lot of positive stuff happening, and I'm confident it will lead to more shows in the future. I mean, the last time we spoke, we had one coming up at the City Winery in New York, and Charlie was kind enough to get Carmine was going to come and sit in and play with us, and Kassam was going to play. And unfortunately, our guitar player had to go in for surgery, and we had to cancel that show. But I'm not giving up on the live part of this either. As I said, there are big acts out there that are cutting back now due to the economy, and here I am coming out with 13 pieces. And it's a big nut, but I think it's something that once people see on stage, they understand the musical value behind it and why I don't want to cut it back.
I get that. I also know what it is that Charlie brought to the Deco table. Pizza, Steve. He brought pizza.
Well,
You're
you know
mean.
what, Danny, that may be the least of the things that I'm worried about right now, because anything else, I got to tell you, I call these guys and it's done. It's there, and they've been wonderful. And I don't often get a chance to say thank you, but Bruce, Charlie, Drew, everybody that's there from Deco, a big heartfelt shout out and thank you from the Hollywood Hollywood All-Stars. We love you guys.
Oh, thank you, Steve. We appreciate it.
There you go. Well, and they have to have patience because they haven't thrown me out yet. And it's been 4 months, Steve. So
You see?
you're in good shape. So what? All right. So you're faced with that issue. So how are we getting around it? Is there anything?
Here's how we're going to get around it. Here's my plan. I mean, radio is picking up really, really well. I'm confident that with the songs are going to start being played. Listen, ultimately, for the Deco side, I hope this translates into sales because I realize that, the songs are on the radio. That's great. But, the record company wants, sales, and as do I. In addition to hopefully the radio play leading into that, if we could start getting a little bit of make some noise in certain markets, I'm hoping those markets will open up and, allow us the opportunity to go out and do shows in those markets, particularly on the East Coast, because it is such a big band. When you get into 13 plane tickets and ground transportation for 13 people and 13 hotel rooms, it gets unrealistic. However, East Coast from, New Jersey, Long Island, New York, Connecticut, Boston, we're able to do all of those areas. So I'm working on them, especially at radio, to try to get that built up.
Well, there you go. Well, we have what song did we decide we wanted to play, Charlie? Was it Living in America?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing Living in America.
Okay. We have Living in America queued up, Steve. Now, Steve, how can we find the Hollywood All-Stars?
I'm sure if you go to Deco's site, we're there. Our own website is thehollywoodallstars.net. We are also all over social media, from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can find us everywhere and anywhere. And, I do want to do a little shout out to, as long as that's the song that you've got queued up, to Charlie Midnight, who has been an absolute, I can't tell you how encouraging he has been. And this is the guy that wrote Living in America, in addition to writing and producing for Joe Cocker and Tina Turner and a whole host of other people. I'm getting notes from him constantly saying, Steve, I believe in you guys. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep pushing. And it's people like that in the industry that have given me the energy to keep the thing moving forward. So, Charlie, thank you for this great song, too.
Yeah, I must say, and Steve introduced us to Charlie Midnight, which is great. I actually met Charlie years ago. He was working on the Joe Cocker record at the House of Music in New Jersey, and now we're putting out Charlie's record, hopefully the beginning of 2024, and he's a fantastic songwriter.
The one he did with Swirsky?
Yes.
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 With Mark Swirsky.
A common guest here on Rock On Radio.
Yes.
And they got something great coming up. But Charlie's written for everyone.
Right.
From Joe Cocker, even those guys work with Hilary Duff. He worked with Barbara Streisand. So it's pretty cool. And something to note is the horn section on Living America, which you're about to hear, is the horn section that was on the James Brown original.
On the actual recording.
On the original, yeah.
Yeah, they are. That's them.
Yep.
Fantastic. All right, Steve. Well, we are going to play that, and you know that anytime you want to talk, all you got to do is call me, my friend. You got my cell.
Danny, I want to thank you for the open door. I really do appreciate it. And Charlie, love you guys again. I owe you a martini whenever we're nearby each other. So please, let's try to make that happen. I'd love to sit down and chat.
I will absolutely take that. Thank you, Steve.
I'm going to DoorDash you a pizza.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Steve. Thanks a lot, my friend. Best of luck.
Thank you all. And I wish I could be there, but thank you again. I appreciate
We'll
it.
talk to you soon. Rock on.
All right. Take care.
There you go. Steve Gaspar of the Hollywood All-Stars here on Rock On Radio. And we have the remake that they did of Living in America.
We do.
The James Brown tune. Then back with more Initial Kick.
Just slide behind the wheel. How does it feel when there's no destination that's too far? And somewhere on the way, you might find out who you are. Living in America, eye to eye, station to station. Living in America, hand to hand, across the nation. Living in America, got to have a celebration. Rock my soul. Smokestack, fat back, many miles of railroad track. All night, radio keeps on running through your rock and roll soul. All night diners keep you awake on black coffee and a hard road. You might have to walk the fine line, you may take the hard line, but everybody's working overtime. Living in America, eye to eye, station to station. Living in America, hand to hand, across the nation. Living in America, got to have a celebration. I live in America. I said I live in America. Oh, I live in America. I live in America. You may not be looking for a promised land, but you might find it anyway. Under one of those old familiar names, like New Orleans, New Orleans, Detroit City, Detroit City, Dallas, Dallas, Pittsburgh, PA, Pittsburgh, PA, New York City, New York City, Kansas City, Kansas City, Atlanta, Atlanta, Chicago, and LA. Living in America. Living in America. Oh, come on now. Living in America. Hey, hey, hey. Living in America. Yeah. I live in America. Listen, I live in America. I live in America. I live in America. Living in America, eye to eye, station to station. Living in America, hand to hand, across the nation. Living in America, got to have a celebration. Yeah, living in America, Hollywood.
There you go. The Hollywood All-Stars, Living in America. Many thanks to Steve Gaspar for giving us a call. Now, you gentlemen, are you familiar with Steve? Do you know Steve?
Through Charlie, yeah.
Through Charlie. Okay. All right. So we were. You had said something. Now it's just the thought train totally derailed. What did you say? Choo choo. Oh, we are sitting here this evening with two members of Initial Kick. We have Steve O'Jane and Frank Schaefer. So you're concentrating mostly on the vocals
Yeah.
in this one. No bass or
I actually do play bass on the record, but for live we get somebody else to do that, so I can just concentrate on singing and not screwing up the lyrics and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, my main thing is playing bass, and that's always been my focus and craft. And when we were kind of trying to organically figure what Initial Kick was going to be, originally I was going to play bass, and we had a bunch of singers down who were all infinitely more talented than myself, but we
that's a ringing endorsement.
but here's the but there was if you have somebody down once, twice, and then by the third time, if it still sounds like they're just reading off a lyric sheet, the personality that we wanted to imbue these songs with, the expression that we wanted to lend each song, we weren't hearing it. So at some point, Frank just said, "Well, Steve, you sang on the demos. Why don't you just sing?" So I was like, "Okay, I'll try that." And see how that goes.
Go ahead, Frank.
Actually, I wasn't going to say much, but yeah, Steve fits these songs. No one can sing them like Steve.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Well,
Here's $20.
I've 10 I owe you and 10 for that. Actually, I've had several artists over the years who came in here and said, if I'm going to sing the lyrics, then I need to write the lyrics.
Yeah.
Because they said only they understand what they were feeling and thinking when they wrote these lyrics, and handing it off to somebody else just doesn't work. Now, I don't know if it didn't work for them or
Right.
in the way you're speaking.
Yeah, I think that's essentially, you described it perfectly. That's pretty much what happened, I think. And again, some phenomenal singers walked through our doors, and great singers, but just it was like, just listening for that certain, there's a certain attitude and again a little bit of an ironic sense of humor to some of the songs, and if the singer doesn't get it, if they don't feel it. Now some people can. I mean, look at Jim Steinman and Meatloaf. You got that. Not comparing myself, but I'm just saying it's like that was a combination, right? Just to be clear. But I mean, like here was a guy who wrote the stuff, and there was a guy who got it. Like Meatloaf absolutely understood what needed to be communicated and the personality to bring to those songs, and he did amazing, right? So
No, that's true. It's like the Townsend Daltrey relationship.
Yeah.
He knows how to sing those songs, but it's not too often that you find that. To get that actual feeling. Because that emotion because you're writing about it, and as you're singing it, that emotion's going through your head, and most people can't understand it because they didn't go through it.
Right.
And Steve is a good singer. I used to wonder, like an angel, he'd be so timid singing the background vocals. I'm like, "Gee, Steve, you were the lead singer at Initial Kick, man. Come on, let's go."
Well, I was going to ask you that. There's a big difference between fronting a band and playing bass in another one, where you're kind of just doing the backing vocals. Easy transition for you or no?
Well, I mean, my whole life I've been playing bass, so I feel comfortable with a bass in my hand. I feel like I can, walk into, most situations and at least play well, or at least not embarrass myself. I'll do fine, and vocals is not something I've been doing the whole time, but there is that, I think, part of every musician. Everybody wants to be a lead singer, right? As a teenage kid, you spend that time in front of your mirror, pretending, singing along with all your favorite songs and all that. So, thankfully, stage presence wise, I think I already had it going on. I just got to learn how to sing, and then I'm okay.
Get that part down. If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio. Our guests this evening are Steve and Frank of Initial Kick. We have Charlie Calv, and we are about to do a new segment.
We are.
Right? Mm-hmm. We're going to play a tune from Initial Kick, and then when we come back, we are going to unveil a new segment here on Rock on Radio,
Yes,
producer Claire, which is called
Deco on Deck with Drew.
Deco on Deck with Mountain Drew. I love it. I love it. So, he's got a lot of fizz, man, a lot of pop. You got to call him Mountain Drew.
Okay.
All right, never mind. I tried.
That's
I'll
your
give it up. But what tune would you like us to play?
This would be a good one. Let's throw Tomorrow and Forever in there. Great, solid, mid-tempo rock and roll song. Charlie Calv from Angel and others is playing keyboards on it, and Richie Rano does some guitar on there as well from Stars. Richie from Stars. He's a good friend, and it's just a fun, tight song, and it comes across pretty well. Stevie D did a great job mixing it as well.
That's funny. Every now and then I see your name pop up, Charlie. Who was that blonde girl from Pennsylvania where you did the?
Oh yeah, with
you and Kenny Dubman.
Dubman, yeah, Stephanie.
Stephanie,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
Charlie
get- I
Cal's
get-
on this record.
Yeah, I get asked to do a lot of stuff, and I turned down a lot of stuff. Believe it or not, actually, Drew took two of my gigs I got asked to do.
Whoa!
And Drew's a great keyboard player. So
That's why he gets his own segment.
So that's right. Yeah. So yeah, but this song is really good. I'm glad Steve asked me to play on it. It was during the pandemic, so obviously I was sitting home, not doing much. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Deco really started to explode during the pandemic, so I was actually pretty extremely busy, all things considered. But this is a great track, and I'm happy that I played on it. And I didn't realize Richie played guitar on it until you told me a couple weeks ago when I saw you.
We stretched it out actually. There was a shorter version with no guitar solo, and then we just added another about a minute in there, and then he ran with that.
Which is cool. I mean, Richie's a great guy, and for fans in the '70s, I mean, Angel and Stars has a pretty long history together.
Right.
Touring and stuff. It's great because we went out, we did some shows. I don't know, 2-3 years ago with Angel and Stars. It was great. It was a great run. I mean, I think practically every other show was sold out. It was fun guys to play with.
There you go. You heard that. Fun guys.
Fun guys.
Mushrooms. There you go. All right. Here is Initial Kick and their song called
Tomorrow and Forever.
Yeah, we've been to hell and back. I don't know what we're fighting for, but we're ready to attack. It could just be we're so fired up, we're ready to ignite. I wonder now, I don't know how we bring ourselves to fight. It's been a long and painful road. We've traveled on to come this far, and it's been a heavy load. It seems too far to reach you now, but we'd be a holy sight. If you're with me, and I could be in your arms tonight. In your arms tonight. And I love it when you say, would it be okay if I stay? I'm saying yes, stay for the night and one more day. The time is what we need. Time for us together. And stay another night. It's never felt so right. You're being here with me. Tomorrow and forever. Tomorrow and forever. We've been torn apart too long. Screamed and lied and crucified each other for our wrongs. I know we've seen the devil deep within each other's eyes. Our saving grace, no sin race to love that never dies. But I know one thing is true, that God and Mom and Holy Grace delivered me to you. We've suffered long to be here, and I think that I just might die and go to heaven to be in your arms tonight. In your arms tonight. And I love it when you say, would it be okay if I stay? I'm saying yes, stay for the night and one more day. The time is what we need. Time for us together. And stay another night. It's never felt so right. You're being here with me. Tomorrow and forever. comes by. We're here for a while, and then we say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. I'm saying yes, stay for the night and one more day. The time is what we need, time for us together. And stay another night, it's never felt so right. You're being here with me, tomorrow and forever. Tomorrow and forever.
Hello, music lovers. I am Drew. Here's the Deco Entertainment release report, where I, your humble host, takes you through some of the releases we have here at Deco through the month of October. But before I continue, since it's October, Halloween is coming up right around the corner. So check out the recent releases from Shadow Symphony to turn your living space into the spooky haunted house of your dreams. Check it out on decoentertainment.com. But let's get into the release report. First up, if you like 80s hard rock like I do, you're going to love the band Red Rain and their newest album, Don't Look Back. Red Rain has shared the stage with a bunch of rock legends, Dokken, Extreme, Lita Ford, just to name a few. And if I may say so myself, this band rocks just as hard as any of them, really. Produced by Grammy Award-winning Hailstone producer David Ivory, songs like Don't Look Back and No Peace, No Love will take you back to a time where hair was big and people were, frankly, choking on hairspray. But anyway, especially take a listen to the song Here I Am, which is dedicated to people dealing with any number of mental health issues, telling them that when they feel alone, there's always someone there they can lean on. Next up, we have Initial Kick, the high-energy Philadelphia-based rock band helmed by Steve O'Jane of Angel on lead vocals, and Frankie Schaefer from Hurricane Jane on lead guitar. Their debut album plays with Mercury, an inspired love letter to rock and roll as a whole, which is obvious by the choice of heart-racing arena rock and a number of slower ballads to boot, including a really cool cover of Sugar Sugar by the Archies. In my personal opinion, coming from a sort of producing mind, if you're a singer or a producer of a singer, really listen to the pure quality of Steve's voice and how well it cuts through the mix perfectly while also complementing Frank's great guitar work. For this last release, I don't have any words to describe it, really. There's nothing to describe just how talented all these members of Jalusic are, especially lead singer and namesake, Dino Jalusic. I mean, David Coverdale himself gave him a call asking him to help out with vocals from Whitesnake, so when you get that, you know you're doing something right. Just listen to the chorus of their single, Fly High Again, and you'll instantly be blown away by the pipes that Dino has. And that's before even mentioning the stellar work of the other musicians in the band. If you're a fan of rock, you need to listen to this album. Definitely need to get this album. And that's for this month's edition of the Release Report. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to follow all of our social media pages. Also, go over to decoentertainment.com and subscribe to our newsletter. You'll get artist news, updates, and special access to contests, products before anyone else. I'm Drew from Deco Entertainment, and I will see you guys later.
There you go. You know, all right. I have to say that
Really?
It's hard to say.
Hang in there,
Getting
Danny.
all
Hang in
choked
there.
up. Oh my goodness.
choked up, man.
It's just that hard to say.
Wait, do you really want to say it?
No, I have to say, you know, there is an old saying, and I know this because I'm old.
It's true. You probably wrote it.
Yes, yes. Right after I waited the Last Supper table, I was I was writing these things.
Thought it was crossing the Delaware.
That's right. No, but the old saying of you can't judge a book by its cover. So, like, you guys walk in here, and my first impression was they're like a hard metal band, right? But your stuff is very melodic, very
thank you.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
You know,
Thanks.
It's I like it a lot because I'm not a huge fan of metal.
Slayer.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I have done interviews with gentlemen from Seven Dust and things, and they're really
cool.
most of them are really cool, to talk to. But yeah, especially like Cookie Monster metal, I can't get that. What? Okay. So, but I like it because it's melodic.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
It's you can actually understand the lyrics. You can It's
No,
very cool.
they're great hooks. Because we were
Yes.
we were talking offline while the song was playing. So did you write the melodies and lyrics to Look Away? Was that
Yes.
okay?
And
We were just telling an interesting story because a band I had years ago called Shotgun Symphony, we used to do a song called Look Away. And when we did, it was supposed to be on the first record, never made it. We did a box set many years later and looking for bonus material. And we're like, that track's got to go on there. So it turns out that Steve actually wrote the song with the guitar player, Frank, that was
And this is like years and years before I even knew Charlie.
And I knew Frank wrote it with somebody else, and I probably had your name on, like when we filed the copyrights for it or whatever, but just never put two and two together. And then Steve approached us like, dude, I wrote that song. I'm like, what do you mean you wrote that song? And it turns out, and I talked to Frank, I said, this guy's saying he wrote this song. Like, what's going on? I thought I didn't do that. And then I found out they played together, but it was so cool. Like almost 30 years later, it's like, wow, how interesting is that? And it was a great melody and a great hook on that.
Great. And
wait, Robin's looking at what? You didn't know that either? You never heard that story? Yeah, him and Frank Prego played together in a band.
That song is what he has on his record?
No. It was on the Shotgun record.
No, but the song that's on their record is not the same song?
No. I'm saying Steve wrote that years ago with Frank.
Unrelated to this record,
Yes,
but still a fun
unrelated.
story.
Play that song?
I don't have
Forget it. Just tell Robin to go back to sleep.
well, and we were talking about that, and
We'll get together later
Well,
and
it's
discuss.
that.
When you said Look Away, I'm thinking,
No.
a song like that on the record.
it's funny because she's so far away from the mic, like it's probably sounding over the air right now, like.
Swedish
That
Chef.
way, hold Danny.
We can't even hear her.
That's what it sounds like to me all the time.
Oh, Claire, duck.
It's going to be a cold ride home.
We immediately started talking about the record, but Drew just did his segment. Congratulations,
Yay.
Drew,
Yay.
on your segment.
Woo. But it is interesting about interpretation, though, that you can take a song and write it like in its infancy stage, and then when it's done, you're like, wow. And I just remember that because speaking about Frank Prego, he plays on a project we have here in house called Maze Landing that'll be out next year sometime, and it's kind of writing like the infancy of a song and then sending. And this happened during the pandemic as well. That's why I'm kind of mentioning it. And you're kind of throwing out to all these musicians to contribute parts, and then when it comes back, it's really cool. It may not be what
Seeing
you
how everybody
thought, but
responds
just
to
kind
it.
of how everyone. And I kind of did that project by I got an idea, but I'm going to pick guys that I like as players, and I'm not going to tell them what to do. I'm not going to ask them to do anything. It's just, here's the track, go. And when each part came back, you're like, wow, that's really cool. And it's interesting to see someone's interpretation because it was definitely different than mine, but it came out better than if I just would have laid it all out, myself and did it. So it's cool. I mean, I think that's a great way to work. Some people like to write the whole thing. They have the vision in their head. They want to produce it. They want it to be exactly that way. I think it's more exciting when you get people involved and just let them, bring their flavor to it.
Yeah,
Sure.
Little bit of everyone's stink.
It is, yeah. And it turns out great.
Absolutely.
That's what makes it unique and original.
Yeah.
That's how me and Frank wound up working together for so long, just because it's always interesting to see, when it bounces off of Frank, how he responds to it, how he reacts to it, and then what he's going to add to it, and it always brings it up a level.
And it's interesting because even we were talking about the track I played on, and when I heard it back, I don't even remember doing the piano, because time passes and you kind of forget about it, and it
It's
comes
you, I
back,
swear.
and you're like, wow, that's really cool. And even talking about the songwriting thing, I'd written a song years ago with this guy Danny Vaughn, who played in a band called Taiketo, and we had written it after we came off. We were opening for them. We did a couple European tours. We got together. We wrote a bunch of songs together. 10, 15 years goes by, and then he winds up taking that little acoustic guitar, vocal melody we had, and he put it out on a record. And it was interesting to see it finish like that, like completely different than, and I'm not really a great guitar player, but, I had this guitar idea, and it just came out really cool, and it's nice to kind of see, how somebody takes it and formulates it into something.
Right. Well, you're a fantastic guitar player. Don't you just adjust it to like E5 or something?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So, Frank, how long you been playing guitar, by the way?
I would be giving up my age.
Since birth.
Probably about 45 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, see?
Since birth.
Right. Well, I've been playing drums for 49, so...
Yeah.
Since birth. Oh, no. You're much older than that.
Wow. See? What is the part that you look forward to or enjoy the most about working with these guys or just being on stage playing the guitar? What
really drove me to go in this direction, because like I had a bunch of songs written and Steve had a bunch of songs written, and we're kind of like going back and forth, and it was that happy, upbeat, major key direction that we decided to go in, and it really stretched me as a musician, learning like really how to play happy stuff, because it's very minor key, like we're in it my whole life, even though I loved Bowie and Mott the Hoople, and most of the stuff I wrote was very major or very minor key, very dark. So Steve brought me out of the darkness.
All right.
Nice.
Really.
Now,
poetic,
do you have solo albums yourself?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
You didn't get that dark. Nobody understands me.
Wait till
I need
the
to
next Initial Kick record. Yeah.
Now,
It's been a pleasure. And
this disc is
really.
this is a 12-track full length, which I'm fantastic that I love that, because so many people are putting out EPs because everybody's attention span is so short.
That is the story these days.
Yeah. But I'm glad that you put out a full length. I'm glad that you have more. And why are you yelling at me with your eyes? I know what you do when you do that. What you got going on over there, producer Claire?
We have songs to still play,
Oh,
so I want
okay.
you
Want to play more music?
I do want to play more music. I want you to announce that we're going to play more music.
Oh, there you go.
You don't know by now that's what I was trying to tell you.
I figured that, but all right, that's fine.
You have to make
You
me
are the
explain it on
producer
air.
of the program. All right, so let's do another tune because we're going to have to, you guys are almost done, so we're going to have to.
Well, I think dovetailing into that happy music vibe, let's throw them some Sugar Sugar. And,
okay.
This is as poppy as it gets and as happy and as upbeat as you can possibly hear. So
This is just a song that won't die.
right.
I love this one. It's so fun.
From the time I was this tall till now, people are still remaking it, and it's great. What made you choose this one?
It started as a bit of a lark. It was just sort of like doing it for fun. Like, what is the poppiest? What is the most bubblegum, song? And what can we do with that? And then after a while, it started it's like, this actually sounds good, and it sounds better than we expected. And it was almost a question whether we should even put it on the record at first, and then we were like, fuck it, let's put it. Sorry, excuse me. Cut that part. It was like, put it on there. Bleep this out there. Thank you.
Well, screw it.
I just went from bubblegum to blue.
To thrash metal.
Sorry.
So
on that note,
so essentially, you got Sugar Sugar, and you thought of the most poppy song like Yummy Yummy Yummy. I've got
Right.
Love
Well,
it.
that might
Love in My Tummy. That could be on the next record, is what you're saying?
Quite possible.
All right.
Might
There
not.
you go. All right. Here's Initial Kick, and their take on the Archies' Sugar Sugar.
You are my candy girl, and just can't believe the loveliness of loving you. I just can't believe it's true. I just can't believe the wonder of this feeling too. I just can't believe it's true. Ah, sugar. Oh, honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Yeah, you do. Oh, honey. Oh, sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. When I kissed you, girl, I knew how sweet a kiss could be. I knew how sweet a kiss can be. Like the summer sunshine, pour your sweetness over me. Pour your sweetness over me. Oh, sugar. Yeah. Oh, honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Yeah, you do. Oh, honey. Oh, sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. You got me wanting you. You got me wanting you. Yeah, you got me wanting you.
Sugar, sugar.
I like it.
The old bait and switch. Initial kick here in studio. Steve O'Jane and Frank Schaefer. We have Charlie Calv. Drew is still here after he made his debut. He chose to stick around. Yeah, you could have been like mic drop and walked out. Dude.
That's right.
Robin is here. I don't know what happened to Bruce. He's in bed.
He's back there now.
Oh, he's back there now?
Bruce is there.
All right. Bruce. Usually I see the hand come up there. There it is. All right. Websites and everything again?
Initialkick.net for all your initial kick needs. And we're also on Facebook.
Do you have merch?
Yes. If you personal message me, I'll get something out to you. Yeah.
I had merch. It's gone.
Way to go.
Once.
I gave it out to a whole bunch of people and
That's how that goes.
charity events, and now I have no merch. I have to buy more merch.
You gotta have merch.
You need merch.
Yeah.
It's you got to have something,
I love merch.
Who doesn't love merch? Come on.
right? Well, we have more music with these gentlemen.
We do.
Correct? Because first off, guys, thank you so much
Thank you, Danny. Really appreciate
for,
it.
for making a trip down. We are up in this case. And over.
Thank you.
we appreciate that, and Charlie for setting it up, and Bruce.
Oh,
and,
no
and
problem,
so on
man.
and so forth. But we have some more music before we come back and wrap it up. What did we decide on?
Me and rock and roll.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite songs because it's my favorite Frankie Schaefer guitar solo ever. I love the guitar solo in this. It just shreds. It kills.
Schmoopy.
Yeah.
Schmoopy?
Schmoopy.
All right. Well, here is Initial Kick, and the song is called
Me and rock and roll.
Can't really say what's wrong, but it just ain't right to feel completely alone when you're by my side. Even your conversation really gets me down. Trying to separate the rhyme from the reason in your mind, but it's too late now. And I won't be home tonight, lying there trying for second sight. Got a world of better music was my old best friend. Falling in love with rock and roll all over again. I guess it'll be me and rock and roll in the end. Can really say you love me, but you love me once. Passion that would blow our minds, what a thrill it was. But the fire died out. Now we just scream and shout. Honey, I got news, gonna tell you what it's about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Falling in love with rock and roll all over again. Girl, you let me down. The music was my old best friend. Falling in love with rock and roll all over again. I guess it'll be me and rock and roll. And if you find me staring out the window like an inmate through the bars, the road to freedom is calling me like a pathway to the stars, led by my guitars. Can't really say I'll miss you, but I missed you once. Time and place so long ago, full of tragic lust. But the memories fade away. All I feel are dues I've paid. For what goes around this dog will have his day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Falling in love with rock and roll all over again. Girl, you let me down, and music was my old best friend. Falling in love with rock and roll all over again. I guess it'll be me and rock and roll in the end. And me and rock and roll. Me and rock and roll.
Initial kick here on Rock
Very
On
nice.
Radio. Fantastic.
Nice guitar solo.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that song. It's that's a good one that speaks to one of our main themes that's like recurring through a lot of the songs. It's just about, you know, all the different relationships you have in life, and people can let you down, you know, left and right, you know, but the music was always there, and that song is about that. Yeah.
Open to interpretation.
I'm gonna finish the way you started.
Full circle. We came around full circle. Right now.
Well, one of the things that I like about what you've done here is you have a sound that sounds familiar, but not
Right.
a retread.
Thank you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like during that tune, I heard that, and April Wine came to mind at first.
Yeah, nice.
And
Yeah.
but then I'm like, no, it doesn't really sound like that because it's nice and clean, and it's not. And I as I said before, melodic. It's really catchy. It's
Perfect. Thank you.
It's not poppy. It's catchy. Even Sugar, you
Yeah. Thank you so much.
ripped it up.
Right on. Thank you.
Well, gentlemen, Charlie, thank you, man, so much for
Thank you.
making the trip. We greatly appreciate that, and we appreciate you making the trip and stopping down and hanging out with us here.
Pleasure
And
to be here. Thank you.
if you like what happened here tonight, tell everybody. If you don't, tell me. No, thanks, guys.
This is a lot of fun. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Danny.
Yeah,
We're
thank
good. We're
you,
glad
Danny.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Glad you could come down and do it. Because right now we have our last portion of the evening, a place in Ocean Grove, Neptune, in the old Neptune High School is called the Jersey Shore Arts Center now. And our friend Janet reopened Cafe Artiste. And the other night, you and I trekked down there and took the recorder and pulled some sound off the board, and we had some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But
It was good to be back.
I spoke to Janet, and she gave us an interview and talked about reopening because it almost didn't.
I know.
And then we're going to do a live one from Paul Marzano between the battle between is it sauce or is it gravy? So that's fantastic. Again, guys, thank you so much, man. And
Appreciate it.
hopefully Charlie will let you come down again.
Oh yeah, we definitely will. And from what I hear, they got another record in them. So
Yeah, in about 6 months,
We're,
so
we're
Yeah,
excited for that.
There you go.
Nice.
We'd love to have you back. And with this fabulous space, we'll
Get you a
Charlie
Easy.
will rent like a 400,000 watt sound system. We'll put you in there. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danny.
Here's
Thank you, Claire.
Janet Rothstein of Cafe Artiste, and then we'll be back to wrap things up. Well, right now, I have a conversation that I want to air with one of my favorite people in the entire world. You've heard us talk about her in the past. Claire and I simply adore her, and she has got some fantastic big news for us, and we couldn't think of a better way to have her share it. Please welcome Janet Rothstein to Rock On Radio. Hello, Janet.
Hello, Danny Coleman. Hello.
We miss you,
I know it's been years. We came to your studio.
I know.
Cindy
You-
Biscotti and I.
Biscotti, you still owe me a co-host thing, you never cashed in on.
Oh, well, that's got to happen then because we can do that now.
That's right. Well,
We can do that now.
and we can do that now because you are going to share with us something very special, something that many of the artists in the Neptune, Asbury Park, Jersey Shore area are thrilled to have happen. You have finally reopened Cafe Artiste in Neptune.
That's correct. That's correct. We started July 11th, 2017. And we were going for almost 3 years, and it was March 20th. We never made the St. Patrick's Day in 2020. We were all ready for our St. Patrick's Day show, and that show never happened because COVID. And now, as of October 11th, 2023, we had our grand opening, and a fantastic turnout, great talent, and we're going live stream now, and we're posting ahead of time. It's very exciting what new things we're going to add in there also. So we're very excited. So please tell everybody to come down, especially because we also have an art show at the Art Center. This historic building, which is interesting to walk into. Plus, there's parking, which is a rarity around events, right?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can actually park in front or behind, walk into this majestic old school, and go up the steps and see an art show, and then come and hear some original only, because that's what we do. We put a show on between 7 and 9 on Wednesday. We moved it from Tuesday to Wednesday, guys out there. I know there may be some musicians and songwriters listening. We're on Wednesday. We moved it on up a day, and it's doors open at 6:30. We have a cafe with a couple goodies and things, and we do an interview with the artists beforehand. And it's 4 to 5 songwriters, and they all play original music only. I introduce them like you do in your shows. I introduce people with a little bio, a background of them, so you get to know your artist, and then you hear their music. It's like a journey. It's a show, For 2 hours, you get taken on a journey, and I'm thrilled to be able to do it and showcase original their original music. No covers ever. We don't do that. We are showcasing the art of songwriting by the artists themselves. There's plenty of other places to do that, but it's really, really special. And you don't need cover tunes because there's so much talent in this area. They're so talented. So,
well, that there is. And for people who are listening to this who aren't familiar with Cafe Artiste, you began this, as you said, in 2017. It was an idea that you had. But it wasn't just an idea, Janet. You put so much thought into things. Everything from what you just said, it's original music only, no cover material. Reading the artist bios. You have a pre-show. Excuse me. We
have tables with chairs, and it's very set up. It's got candles, all the attention. The chairs are set around the table. It's a square table that we put at an angle because we want everyone to face the stage. It's all about listening to the music, and you're comfortable. And on the left, we haven't left out visual artists because we have another stage with a live visual artist. And this week we got Lisa Jubin, and she paints one painting during a show. It's fantastic. So you listen to your music, you're watching them, you get to see the visual artist. You get to have some extremely great coffee, and everything is not expensive. It's like a minimum donation of $5 to go.
Right, but you also, even with that, you put thought into that. There's no silverware. Right?
No, the food is quiet.
No plates other than right. Nothing that can clank or bang or tink or tinkle or.
You're right.
Everything.
No crinkly bags.
Right.
Everything is in us. Like we use china, and it's nice. We do it nicely. I'm a songwriter, and I said, how would I want my baby when I'm going to present my baby? Which, when you write music, it's like your baby. How would I want that to be? And that's what I created. And so you really get your words and music. The stage is lifted, so you're looking up at the artist. It's really about that. And the back, we've got a couch, and above the couch, you've got the CDs of the many songwriters. We have 1,200 different musicians and songwriters. And they come from Nashville. I've got people from Nashville. I got flowers from Nashville at the reopening.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, I got stuff sent to me. Eric Somner sent. That was one of them.
Okay.
Eric,
yep.
and his multi guitar playing. He's amazing. He's constantly on tour. That was one person I know of. And we remember everybody. It's kind of everybody volunteers. So it's all for the love of the art of songwriting. So it had a certain energy. Maxine Snow. Maxine Snow did chalk art that wrote Cafe Artiste. We also, by the way, before the show, if you come at 6:30, come say hi and get a cup of coffee and, something to nibble on maybe. And I play a CD, and it's original music CD. And then right next to the stage, there's a chalkboard. You gotta realize this was an old school, so there's a lot of chalkboards around. So on that one, it says you are enjoying the CD of, and I write the songwriter's name. So it's all about original music from people that have been there. So, and once you play there, then you can join our I Performed at Cafe Artiste Facebook page. And we've offered different special things to people who have performed there.
Now, speaking of which, how can people look you up on Facebook? I know you have the I Performed At, but is there a regular Facebook page?
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
Cafe Artiste Facebook page. You can go there. And if you are interested in, you're a songwriter, there's a post there that says songwriters request a date to perform. And if you tap on that, you can get a form, you fill out questions, because we want you to say that you're okay with being photographed. And, we get photographs and we post those later. We also ask for a photograph and a bio from the artist before, because we post that ahead of time. So we promote your show. It's kind of like 4 to 5 artists get their own private show, but it's all together.
Right.
That's how you look at it. This is a place that you play your original music, and you invite people that want to see you on stage at a hold on. You want them to see you in a show, but you don't have to rent the space. You don't have to decorate it. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You go there. So for your set, everybody is there listening to you, and you also get a recording, and everybody claps at the end. And there's no bar, like you said. It's quiet, and it really is.
It's a true listening room. Yeah,
true.
It's a true listening room, which so many people were bummed when it had to be shut down due to COVID. And you actually toyed with the idea of whether or not you wanted to reopen it. So what was it, Janet? What pushed you over the edge? And you said, you know what? I'm reopening it.
I think I have a love for that art center, first of all. And the idea that I kind of made a promise to my father. He died right before we opened. He was all for it and making that space a performance space. And his picture is on the wall. So it's personal too, that I will bring the art of songwriting and have it there at the Art Center. And I really want to see it thrive. I'm hoping we'll wind up doing songwriting workshops. There's a few people I'm speaking with. That's not something I know much about, but I'm willing to work it out. It's such a big, wonderful, grand building that we could do that. We also have a big theater. We have 2 other theaters. So there's other places that we can do even bigger or different types of songwriting events. So it's very exciting. And I want to see songwriting and music in there all the time. Now, I'm not saying you can't do cover. We couldn't do it because we don't pay licensing. So, but that's not really the reason. I want it to be original music. I want you, the artist, not to sneak one of your songs in during a set, that kind of thing. You have to do other places. No, it's all about the people, and you've been there, Danny. There's some energy that is just really wonderful. It really is, because everybody's engaged, and we need to feel engaged. We've been sitting behind our Zoom and FaceTime, which is wonderful. Thank God for technology. We could all stay connected, but to actually be in the room live, and it's acoustic based. I am having a few people come play tracks and sing, and we'll see how that goes. But basically, acoustic live. We have trios. We've had the Hanson. What's his name?
Brian Hanson.
Thank you.
Yes.
Brian Hanson Band. They've come. They're fantastic. We've had different. Samantha Spano. She's like out there. She's doing, right. She was 16
when she did the first one. I know.
Cute little dress with her mother on the side.
Yep. Well, just to put it in so people listening to this have an idea, the building that houses Cafe Artiste is the old Neptune High School, which
Yeah.
is a very grand building. I mean, that staircase in the middle looks like a mini version of the one from
Gone with
from
the Wind.
from Monmouth University,
Oh, oh,
from the movie Annie. It's
yeah.
it's just spectacular. And the theater, I've been to events in that theater. It's just, I mean, it's a trip back in time is what it
Yeah.
is. And you have a
It was
history with
called.
it. Go ahead.
It was. It was called a spectacular wonder, architectural wonder. That was what it was from the World's Fair. The architecture that was in there was considered, you know, just phenomenal. And they restored it. Um, it's it's got history, and the building has a certain energy about it. So it's a whole coming to Cafe Ortiz. We asked for like a minimum donation of $5.
Right.
And you're walking into this. You're having an experience. You're walking into an art center. You're walking up to see the art on the walls are up right now, and that room. I know that everything was built. I know the people that built it, where the cabinets, the food is on, like the woodwork that's done. So it's a labor of love. I don't know if every place can say that, Even the steps on the side, it used to have railings, and we took the railings down, and so we really made it into a performance space with a lot of love, and you just feel it.
Right.
It's
and you're attached to it because essentially your father bought it for like $1 or something, didn't he? Or the city bought it for $1? What?
Senator Palaia, the truth is, Senator Palaia went to that high school, and and they were going to tear it down. The Board of Ed did not take care of it. It had so much asbestos in it and things like that. So they got it for $1. And he said to my father, because my father was very much involved in community, would you help me make it an art center? And that's how that started. And they started the Jersey Shore Art Center. And it took years, 1997, and they finally got to the third floor where we are. And there was a dance school in there that only had 2 kids when it first started, and then it was like hundreds of kids. They're no longer here. They moved to another space, but they were wonderful. But remember in 2017, they would be down below us with the booming music for the dance school, and we'd have to say, could you turn it down? We don't have that problem anymore. So there's some improvements, but now it's really turning into more of a fine art center, which is nice. They just had Pippin in the big theater, which was wonderful. Nina Productions did a fabulous job. It was sold out Sunday. Happy to hear that. In fact, on Saturday, if anybody's interested, they're having a run Saturday morning to raise money for the arts. We're nonprofits, so we're always trying to get grants. I'm hoping to get grants for the art of songwriting. And I've got, I've been involved in music, so there's a few people that I'm looking to get donations from. So, that it just means a lot to me. I think we need this at this time. I think we need music to say what music saves us. Art and music, times like this in the world, the way things are, I think we just can't, we got to support the arts. And that's what, so come immerse yourself in it, in the experience, because it really is. And you don't have to worry about parking. There you go.
Yeah. Plenty of parking.
It's 7 to 9. It's a show. So come at 6:30, settle in at a table, and, and it goes to 9.
Well, it's located right on Main Street where Ocean Grove, Neptune, and Asbury Park all come together, right next to the big gates that lead you into Ocean Grove, where you guys used to summer as kids, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, every summer, my family had a house on Heck Avenue, and unfortunately, my mom passed away. So that house is no longer with us, but I grew up on Franklin Avenue. Then we moved to they got that house later on Heck Avenue, which was wonderful. I used to do the show and stay on the third floor of that, looking at the ocean. It's not a bad way to wake up the next day.
No, not at all.
So now I'm coming from Manhattan, so I'm traveling. I don't know if I'm going to get a place there or not, but my heart's in the art center, so we'll figure something out.
Well, and we are very glad it is, Janet. Now, what's the website or the Facebook page? How do people find out about Cafe Artiste and this wonderful listening
on
room?
Facebook, go to Cafe Artiste, and you can see the show lineup and everything. And we're only open on Wednesday from 7 to 9 right now. I don't know if anything else will happen, but and if you're interested in any kind of creative thing with the art of songwriting, musicianship, I'm probably going to have a luthier talk about how to take care of your guitar, how to make one, that's one idea. Because people get guitars, they don't really understand them necessarily, so that would be interesting.
Well,
Danny, we're going to have you come talk about drones.
You're lucky. Claire and I happen to know a luthier, so we can a very good one actually. But so if you ever need help with that sort of thing, I will always help you out.
Absolutely. Well, we do have Don't Fret, Dan Hickman in our building.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go.
Yep. Songwriters, all the songwriters that play, they get a free consultation and a look at their guitar, and I think they get a discount on strings.
Fantastic.
So I'm not paying out in terms of cash, but benefits, exposure, and a cool place to really get your music heard is what I can do for now. So, and then any workshops that come up, of course, anybody who played at Cafe Artiste would get, special treatment. And songwriters deserve special treatment, I think, because,
right?
It's a labor of love. So.
All right, Janet.
So anyway, they can go there, and on the Cafe Artiste page, there's a post that says, tap here if you want to request a date to perform at Cafe Artiste, and you fill the form out.
Oh, okay.
And, just to say that again in case I didn't, because that's important.
Yep, that's great.
And I can't wait to have you there, Danny.
Well,
and you definitely will we got a co-host and put together, you're going to get you to curate a show. So that would be fantastic.
Well, anything I can do to help, you can always count on me, my friend.
Yep. And same with us. Your name is there. In fact, I want to say to everybody, Danny Coleman was in the parade, a 4th of July parade, using his truck, and we had a blast. And it was Cafe Artiste stuff. We were in the Ocean Grove 4th of July parade, right?
Yep.
That was so much fun.
I am still finding them little gold circles in my truck, believe it or not.
That's so funny.
That's the truth. I'm not kidding you. Every time I lifted up the mat in the bed on my pickup truck, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm still finding these gold circles. That was just a couple months ago. So, hey.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. Well, we'll have to do another parade, soon.
You're always with me, Janet. Look at that.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Well,
I'm
thank you.
so thrilled. Thank you for having me. This is wonderful. I really appreciate your support, and Claire, and Rock On Radio. Rock on.
There you
That's
go.
what I can say.
Rock on. All right, Janet.
Rock on.
Janet Rothstein of Cafe Artiste. We'll be seeing you very soon, my friend.
Yes, I look forward to tomorrow night.
Yes.
Everybody.
There you go.
We'll see you soon.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Rock on.
Rock on.
There's about 1,000 reasons I should not play this song. It's the exact reason I got to play it. This is about war in New Jersey. I'm going to leave it at that. There is a war right here in New Jersey. A great divide. It's driving people crazy, crazy, because some call it sauce, some call it gravy. I found it once. My family never forgave me. Some call it sauce, some call it gravy. What do you call it? Mamma mia, in the kitchen with a wooden spoon, stirring up that great big pot. Sunday dinner will be served soon. An unsuspecting guest will be put to the test when they are asked, what's in that ladle? A wrong answer will be proven fatal, because some call it sauce, some call it gravy. I got it wrong once, just once. My family never forgave me. Tried to rationalize. I said, hey guys, let's compromise. Maybe sauce comes in a jar and gravy you cook at home in a pot. Seemed logical to me. I guess not. No, it's much more complicated. It's so much more complicated because my mother calls it gravy. My in-laws call it sauce. Family struggle at the dinner table. I'm always at a loss. My mother calls it gravy. My in-laws call it sauce. Family struggle at the dinner table. I'm always at a loss. Call them at a loss. Some people call it gravy. Some people call it sauce. There is a war right here in New Jersey. Hey, if there can't be peace in Jersey, there can't be world peace. Let's make it happen. Peace out.
All right, there you go. Marzano with sausage or sauce or gravy. That was pretty funny. He's always pretty funny. So that's it. Next week we have T-Bone Jam next week. So
T-Bone Jam.
Until then, rock on! Woo!